Imagine standing on the deck of a pitching wooden boat, hundreds of miles from land. The mist is so thick you can't see the horizon, let alone the sun. To find your way, you hold up a heavy, translucent crystal, waiting for it to catch a hidden light. For a long time, the standard historical timeline told us that the European discovery of the Americas happened in the late 1400s. But 5 centuries before that, groups of Scandinavian families stared out at the freezing gray expanse of the North Atlantic and made the decision to cross it. They sailed straight into a void, facing crushing swells, blinding fog, and floating mountains of ice, armed with no magnetic compasses, no modern GPS, and absolutely no rescue party if things went wrong. Surviving that journey took serious courage, but it also required a level of sophisticated engineering and optical science that history often forgets. Our specific journey starts around the year 1000 AD, departing from the punishing, frozen coasts of Greenland. The tool that made leaving this ice possible was the Viking longship. These vessels relied on a shallow draft hull, keeping the lowest part close to the waterline to reduce drag. Notice the curvature of these ribs. That shape allowed the wood to flex, absorbing deep ocean waves, while gliding straight into shallow rivers without running aground. This design made the longship a highly adaptable multi-terrain vehicle. It effectively turned a hostile, impassable ocean into an open highway. Out in the middle of the Atlantic, however, a fast ship is useless if you don't know where you are heading. Dense fog can easily obscure the sun for days. To solve this, sailors relied on a physical tool. Specifically, they used a naturally occurring crystal known as Iceland spar. This crystal acts as a natural polarizing filter. When sunlight scatters through thick clouds, the internal structure of the spar filters those messy light waves into a single defined pattern, revealing the exact position of the sun behind the overcast sky. By holding this stone up, explorer Leif Erikson could gather precise optical data, allowing him to maintain a perfectly straight heading across thousands of miles of featureless water. What sounds like mythology was actually a highly practical application of optical physics that kept the crew alive. After weeks of gray waves and ice, the horizon finally broke. They were met with sprawling, lush green coastlines and dense pine forests. Leif Erikson had made it across. He stepped onto a landscape completely foreign to his native Greenland. They called this territory Vinland, and their arrival quickly shifted from an expedition of discovery to a permanent settlement project. The popular image of these sailors often features raiding warriors with axes. But the people on these boats were mostly families, bringing livestock, tools, and seeds, seeking out high-quality timber and fresh arable land. They established a peaceful, self-sustaining agrarian community right on the edge of the known world. Without permanent trade routes or an empire back home to constantly update vast maps, these North American outposts eventually faded from regular contact and were abandoned. The details of their transatlantic crossing survived only as spoken word, eventually written down centuries later in epic Icelandic poems known as sagas. For hundreds of years, the global historical community dismissed these texts. They were categorized entirely as folklore or exaggerated campfire tales. That consensus held until the 1960s, when a team of archaeologists started excavating a grassy site on the northern tip of Newfoundland, Canada. Beneath the soil, they uncovered the unmistakable foundations of Viking sod houses. They found iron forge remnants and specific woodwork that proved a long-term Norse presence. These artifacts completely upended the historical record. The poems were accurate logs of actual events. Through highly specific hull designs and a practical understanding of optical physics, Scandinavian sailors successfully navigated the Atlantic Ocean, quietly making landfall in North America 5 centuries before anyone else.